Well, third and fourth graders, it is Thursday, finally Thursday. And I've been looking forward to this lesson all week because I love doing this. And if we'd been in school, we would have been talking about inventors. But unfortunately, we're not. But I get to actually have a lesson on it. So I'm really, really excited. So today's lesson, we are going to do day 4. So let's look back here really quick. So your day 4 should look like this. Now remember, you guys need to be clicking on all of these articles and reading all of them. Okay, so you've got burger bugs today. Ew, gross, right? That should be an interesting one. You have how places got names, a better brush, and our sport's too dangerous, which I think is a great one. So we're going to have some activities on those assignments as well. But today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about inventions, okay? So we have down here on our better brush, this is about an invention that somebody came up with. And usually inventors make things because there is a need, or sometimes it can be by accident too. So let's take a look at some of the most important inventions that have ever been made. And we might see if I can look up a couple of funny ones as well. Okay, so we're going to come down here. The first major invention, of course, that changed the world was the wheel. Believe it or not, that was an invention. I have been studying for a test, and in 3500 BC, which is 3500 years before the birth of Christ, so nearly 5,500 years ago, the wheel was invented. Now, this was super important because you have to have wheels in order to make carts, to take things places. It made transportation so much easier, and it helped humans be able to make settlements and stay in certain areas or to travel easier. So the wheel was probably one of the most, of course, important inventions. And we don't often think of the wheel as an invention, but it was. Down here, nails. Would you have suspected nails to be one of the most important inventions in human history? But it really was, because without nails, you cannot connect wood together. And these nails allowed us to build structures as humans, to build buildings, to build boats and ships to sail. And so I've been watching a show called Curse of Oak Island. It's one of my favorite TV shows. And they find these old nails made out of wrought iron and other types of iron. And they have different little heads on them. And it's pretty cool. I love seeing about this. So the next major invention was the compass. Now, the compass was invented, and it's not the same kind of compass that you think of when you think of like the little one that looks like almost like a little watch. We had compasses that were based upon the stars, the moon, the sun. Most of them were sun compasses, but I have seen even ancient ones that deal with the stars and the way the stars move. But we also had developed the compass where we discovered that there was a magnetic part of the earth, that north was always pointed north and south always pointed south. And we were able to figure that out, and that helped us to navigate overland and oversea and be able to make trade routes and really expand the human population across the face of the earth. So compasses were really important. One of the biggest ones, and the one that we don't often think about, was the printing press. Now, if you guys will remember when we talked about Ben Franklin earlier this year, we talked about how he had a printing press and he had to set all those letters and all the spaces and all the punctuation. He had the little square little things that he had to put in there and typeset it. And then he would put a paper down, and then the paper would come down and the ink would roll on it. If you guys will remember that. Well, this was invented by a man named Gutenberg. And he lived in Britain, in England. And this was one of the most important inventions because it allowed literature, knowledge to be spread throughout all of humanity. It was in 1440. And it allowed large quantities of papers to be and books to be printed, and it didn't have to be handwritten, which was so time consuming. So the printing press was huge. A big one that you guys know about, of course, would be the combustion engine. The combustion engine is what we have in our cars, in our lawnmowers, and our motorcycles. Without that, we wouldn't be able to travel as fast as we travel. They're in our airplanes. Jet engines were based upon internal combustion engines, and we use fossil fuels for those. So that was a great invention as well. Of course, we've got the telephone. The telephone, which was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. The telephone allowed people to talk in real time with each other, back and forth, instead of having to send, letters through the telegraph or anything like that. The telegraph was important, but the telephone allowed people to have actual voices that were sent back and forth. Can you guys think of some important inventions that you think that affect your life? I think the light bulb would definitely be one. How about the internet? A recent invention. That was when I was little, we did not have the internet. So that's been in my lifetime that we've had that important invention. One of the things I wanted to show you, though, was kind of a couple of funny inventions. Some that maybe you don't even think about. So I'm going to go back over here so you can see I'm Googling these. 10 funny inventions that changed the world. We're just going to take a look at the first two. One of the first ones is duct tape. Do you guys know what duct tape is? Duct tape is some really sticky tape that is actually can be used for a lot of different things, but it was actually made because there was a need during war. It says during World War II, the U.S. military needed a strong waterproof tape to help keep ammunition cases dry. By modifying medical tape, researchers at the Permacell division of Johnson & Johnson came up with a 3-ply tape that was sandwiched between a fabric mesh between a layer of polyethylene on top and rubber-based adhesive on the bottom. And this performed really well. And I have seen a Mythbusters where they make a boat out of duct tape, where they duct tape cars, where they made a bridge out of duct tape. I mean, it is a pretty cool thing. But duct tape is an important intervention. We use it a lot. The last one is really a silly one, and I hope that you'll forgive me, but I had to do this one because I thought it was hilarious, okay? The last invention that maybe you guys use every single day, I hope, is the toilet. Believe it or not, we had to have an invention of the toilet. Before the toilet, people would sit on logs and just, all were holes, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't very a pleasant experience. And one of the funniest things I love about this is the person who invented the toilet, the one that we know of today. It says toilets have funny nicknames such as the head, can, loo, and privy. The funniest nickname is called the crapper, may be attributed to Thomas Crapper, the device's supposed inventor. So apparently, the man who invented the toilet went by the name Thomas Crapper, which is really kind of funny. But it actually, toilets were actually invented much earlier than that, but he actually holds the patents. When you make an invention, you have to register your invention through the government. Otherwise, other people can take your invention and make money on it. And so Thomas Crapper, he got the paperwork together, gave it to the government, and took credit for making the toilets that we know today. I thought that was quite funny. So I just wanted to share that. There's some really interesting facts when you do research. So I've done a ton of research, and it's some really, really fun and interesting facts. And that's what part of reading is learning from our reading, finding those interesting information, finding out about cool people in history, finding about cool science things. Why are these kids eating bugs in a burger? Find out about that. Why we have some crazy names in our country, of our cities and stuff like that. Find out about it. Read. I miss you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic day. Keep reading and finding cool information. If you guys have a question or want me to see if I can do some research on an invention that was made or something like that, give me a holler. Send me an email, and I will see if I can look up some interesting information about the invention. All right. Enjoy your rest of your day. Please make sure you get your activities done. You're going to be doing the activities for A Better Brush and for our Youth Sports 2 Intense. Okay, so those are the two you're going to do your activities for, but remember, you need to read all of them. Take care. Bye.